Okay, so part three of making a hostage release game mode. It's also going to teach people the workaround on how to avoid the recent nerf that DICE have put into place to prevent bot farming. And I'm going to show you how to put bots into a map, which are going to be full XP. They're not going to be nerfed, but it's not as simple as just going into Portal and just using backfill or static bots. Can't do that. We're actually going to use a custom map to spawn bots in, which are not they're not going to be nerfed, basically. So yeah, we're going to go on to that now. So if you have been watching the previous couple of episodes, we've been making a hostage game mode where you get a hostage randomly spawned somewhere on the map, and thereafter the bot will return back to the main base, score for Team 1, and Team 2 win by kills, basically. So it's basically like Rush, but you have to escort a hostage back to the main base safely without him being killed. And you also have to interact with him to make sure that he makes it back to base. So let's just say, for the sake of this part of the video on how to backfill your server with bots that are not nerfed, this is how to do it. So this is your custom map. Let's say you've got all your capture points and everything set up. At this time you can ignore my personal game mode of hostage release, and we are going to put in some AI spawners. Okay, so we're going to put one in at our main base first of all, and we're going to give them their own. We're going to give them their own IDs here. Okay, so AI spawner in, roll him around to there. So we've got our Team 1 bots, they've got to spawn in here. Okay, and we've already got AI spawners for those, and we're eventually going to have 16 of these, so we're going to actually, for my game mode, so we're going to actually start labelling these slightly different. We're going to give these spawners something similar to, say, we're going to say 801 for this one. And we'll go over to the enemy main base over here, and we'll put an AI spawner into here for the enemy. And all of these bots are going to have their own custom names, which is going to appear as though they're real players. Okay, and this is going to be 802. All of the bots are going to spawn from the same place and follow the same paths, and they're going to go to the current objectives as well. Okay, so here we go. First things first, we've got our spawners in place. We're going to save our map. We're going to rename our spawners, actually, AI spawner backfill Team 1. And we're going to say AI spawner backfill for Team 2. Okay, so we will get rid of those spawners and we'll put them into our actual AI spawners area that we've specifically set up there. We're going to save the scene, and then we're going to export that current level, and we are done with that already. So over to the portal editor. Let's say this is your current game mode. You've got all this set up already, no problem whatsoever. We're going to go to where our spawner is spawning players. So on spawner spawned, no we want to make a new one of these, because this is only for the spawners that are for our hostages. Okay, so what we're going to do is put a new rule in here, put AI backfill. Okay, and we're going to go to on spawner spawned there. No issue with that. But what we want to do is we want to set a subroutine which is going to set in these spawns. So we're going to set up a subroutine here, call it AI backfill, create a new subroutine. Where is it? There. Just drag it down with our other subroutines. And we're going to spawn AI from spawner. If there is too many bots on one of the other teams, it won't spawn them. So we can just actually completely ignore that. But what we want to do is we want this to repeat itself, so it spawns more than one bot per time, and it needs to be when there's less than so many real players on the server, or less than so many bots on the server. So to do that, we've got to set up a player count variable, which I've already done. Set up a new variable, call it player count, and put that as a global. Okay, and when a player joins the game, on player joins game, on player joins game, you need to put in a variable saying player count for variable 1 is adding 1 to the current number of players that's on there, and on here as well. Okay, and we will then put that subroutine into both of those, AI backfill. So every time a player joins the game and it's less than, well, if it's less than the full amount of possible players on there, it's going to spawn in bots to backfill those slots. So we're going to go spawn AI from spawner, and we're going to go to get spawner, and we're going to change that to the numbers that we've set our spawner, which is 801 and also 802. We're not going to, well, we could if we wanted to give them names, but we're not going to do that. We are going to give them teams. Get team, spawn a bot for get team 1, and we're going to spawn a bot for get team 2. I think that's all we need to do there. But we need to make sure that it's less than 30 people. So we are going to put in a control action of if and an else. So if so and so is true, then it will do that. If not, it will do that. So if less than value in the array of the player count for team 1. If it is less than we've got hostage, there's 1 player, so if it's less than 30 it's going to do that. Else and else if less than for team 2, spawn AI onto team 2. Over here we need to now put a condition in for those spawners, those spawned players for the AI. So the condition is get soldier state for that player. Ooh. For the event player that is spawning in, and make sure that he is an actual AI character, is AI soldier. And at that point we can do anything we want with that bot. So we want to we want them to go to a specific location. So AI move to behavior, we want that in first, so we want to make them go to an area, and we want them to probably patrol the area. Maybe let's have a look. Defend position is good. Let's have a look. Well, I think we can probably use that instead of move to. We will check. It could be more complicated than what it seems here. So we're just going to double check that first by looking at the help page on that. So it says, sets a player to defend an area around a location. Only works for AI players. Okay. So defend. We want them to defend not that location, but around the location of the current objective. So what we're going to do is set a new array, which is going to set the location of the current objective. So we know that we want that AI to go to a minimum distance of 30 meters. Is it minimum or maximum? Minimum, but at a maximum distance of 30, and then a minimum of 10. I think that's sufficient. Now, how do we get that location for the current objective? Interesting to find that out. So we're going to set up a new variable. We're going to manage that variable, and we're going to go to new global variable, and we're going to be current objective location. Set that as global, and we will close that. And at the start of the game we need to set that. So game setup, we want to go to here. So once we've set our columns, once we've set the spawner location, so the location is going to be the position of the... We don't actually need to do the variable, I don't think, but we'll keep it in there for the moment. I think we could probably get away with something much more simplistic than this. So what we can do here is get soldier state of the value in the array of the hostage. Hostage is always indexed at 0, and we're going to get the state vector position of that person there. Done. I believe that's going to work. Why not just save this right now and test this? We'll save that. We will just resave our JSON script. Export. And put that into our map and just see what happens. They should all spawn in. Hostage. Or save. And actually we're just going to make sure in teams here we've got no bots. No backfill, no static. We don't want any bots. No bots. But what we do have is 2 teams. Human players of maximum of 30. No bots. We're going to leave 2 spaces for hostages. We can increase that to 31 if we find that it is sufficient. And what we can also do here, just go back to our rules editor, is on that player that leaves the game. So we're going to put in a new condition here. Player leaves the game completely. On player leave game, what do we do again? We just run that subroutine, AI backfill. Simple as that. Done. Let's test and see what happens. Hostage dev, host locally. We should have players spawn on both sides of the map. Whether they actually move into place is a whole another story. We might have to get them to move to the location first and then get them to do that. Right, no bots. Oh, they're all called Grunt. Look at that. Grunt. Are they going to move to the point? We still probably need to count yeah, we probably need to still count the players on each team. Okay, a hostage is still there. Okay, I'm gonna quit that. and we need to put a not action in there, and is not, and not, and is not equal is not the hostage. Okay. The actual hostage needs to be specific here. AI backfill, so we need to do something with this. Let's change this to that, because we've got a while on there. So we're going to remove the else and see if that is sufficient. Let's just put 10 aside, less than. Okay, let's just test that. But this is going to overcome, most likely, the nerf that DICE have put in with bot lobbies. So yeah, this nerf that DICE have put into place to stop bot farming is simply for backfill and static bots on the Portal editor. It does not nerf bots that have been spawned in by script or actual spawners. So do we get some bots? Yep, we've got equal, there we go. So now we have an equal amount of bots on both teams, which are not subject to being nerfed. Okay, what we are going to do is make them start moving a little bit more. That is perfect. We've got the equal amount of bots. And how do we now get them to, well, they are they're sort of doing their own thing, slowly but surely. We want to give them a sprint as well, so let's get that gone. Let's sort that out. So the bots that have spawned, AI backfill, what do we want them to do? We want them to wait for 5 seconds. Just allow a little bit of time to understand what they've got to do with themselves. And then we're going to go AI move to behavior. We're going to get them to go to that location. And then we're going to also give them AI speed. We're going to give them some speed to move around quicker. Speed modifier, speed move item. We're going to have them to sprint so they can sprint around. And then we're going to give that a weight of going to take them at least 30 seconds to get near to that point, and that should be sufficient. What I'd like to do is actually note in an array what the actual objective location is, instead of using this get soldier state of the hostage. I don't think that's accurate, really. Realistically, I don't think that is the case. We are going to test that first. We want them to run to the location of the hostage and then start defending that area. Same with both teams. So we're going to test that real quick, and if it doesn't work, we're going to actually set a standardized, automatically updated location for them to go to each time. Of course, when there's real players on the server, there won't be any bots. It will refuse to actually spawn them completely. Okay, so our bots, they're going to wait 5 seconds. The hostage has spawned, but they're not moving to that location. They're all called grunts, so we could probably name our own bots if anybody wants a bot name. They're moving out. They're not really moving to where I want them to go, so we're going to actually set up that that location system. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. So the current location, we want to give that a vector. So on game mode started, we want to we might not even have to do that. We could probably do it from the actual, from the spawner itself. We'll try it. So AI bot backfill. Move to behavior. We're going to put world position of, world vector of, no, world position of. How do we get the position of something? Let's try and find that out. Position. Get object position. There we go. And we're going to put that as get spawner. Hopefully this might work. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's see how they react to this. There's going to be a lot of trial and error here for the moment, but we will eventually work out how they are going to do this. because if not, we will actually put in an AI waypoint for them to go to, or put an object in. We could put an object, and just, even if it's a concrete block, just hide it under the ground. It doesn't matter. Where's my bots? There's my bots. Give them a few seconds. Are they going to run? Oh! Obviously that doesn't work. They don't know where to go to, so they're just dying. Okay, so I think we're just going to have to set that vector up. Oh dear. Right, okay, so we're going to go to set the current variable. So we're going to go to arrays. We're going to set this as a variable. The capture point is pretty much next to the location, so we'll try it with the capture point. We'll try it with the capture point before we put the actual spawner in. So we don't want to try the spawner. Move AI. See what we can do. So move AI waypoint. Let me see how this waypoint works. Okay, AI move to. AI validated move to behavior. What's the difference? Let's check the differences out on this. Let's learn something new together. Right. So we've got AI move. We've got a validated, so move to behavior. Sets a target player, a destination to move to. Sets a player to move to a valid position on a nav mesh near a location. Nav mesh is built into this map. Okay. AI focus point. That's where they're looking. AI enable, unspawn. AI battlefield behavior is good. Validated move to defend a position. Will they move to that position? Sets a player to defend an area around a location. Does it actually get them to move to that location? No, don't think it does. So, we want to set a vector. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. So, we're going to set up a custom location for every time that it renews the location, basically. So, to do so, we are going to go arrays, set variable at index. We're going to current objective location. We're going to always trigger this on index 0. and we're going to put create vector. Get object position. Position. Objective. Should we just put in actual objects? Should we just put in objects into the map and just be done with it? And I think it's probably going to be even better to do so. Why don't we just do that? And we'll call them 601s. So why don't we just do this? Let's put in a HESCO. HESCO barrier. Stick that there. Whatever. Inspector object ID. We're going to call this 1101. On 102. We're going to actually just make a new node for these, I think, as well. We're going to go node. We're going to put these as object waypoints. Stick that in there. Let's just reparent that to the main there. So we want that one in object waypoint. And then we want, which one was it? This one? Yeah, we'll put that in as well. Just hide it under the floor a bit. Object waypoint 2. One 103. Actually, no. No. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. Hostage spawner 1 is 201. We're going to give these IDs 201 as well. It's going to be 201. Hostage 2. (202). Hostage 3. 203. Hostage 4. .204. I think that's sufficient. They're objects. Object IDs, so we're just going to save that. Export current level. Go back to portal. So we're going to put in no necessary current objective location required for that. So we can get rid of that. Because we're going to actually just work it from the random ball that we've done. So we're going to go to AI backfill, move to object position, and then the value in the array will set the location matching the number of the flag itself. So we're going to drag that to our AI backfill to there. I think that's suitable. And we'll just actually change that to there as well. Let's see what happens. We've got to put our new map JSON in there as well. We'll save and we'll start a test on that map. Now the subroutine, does that automatically repeat? Because it'd be nice to give our guys some names. There we go. No, that's buggered that up. That's buggered that up. That has buggered that up. So we're going to quit straight out of there and find out why. Doing this crappy bug. Might have to do this from the IDs of the spawners themselves, which we set numbers for. (801) and 802. We need to put an OR statement in, so it's either one or the OR. Or 802. We just want to get them to move first, don't we? And talking about this backfill, we should probably put some weights in here as well. We'll put a weight in there for 3 seconds and a weight in there for 3 seconds, just to slow down the amount of bots that are spawning. And then the commands that we want are there. And we run another test. However, we may need to put in an algorithm with actual go-to vectors. We will have to just check on that. This should slow down the bot spawning a little bit now. Yeah, here we go. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. They're not moving. There's 4. (18), 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. But we're going to have potentially 64 players on this map, and they're still not moving. So let's just go to algorithm again. A subroutine. Let's change the algorithm to AI backfill for team 1. We're going to set up a second subroutine here called AI backfill team 2. Put that down there. Drag that down out the way. And then we're going to go to, oh, excuse me, on new player joined. AI backfill. We're going to separate those into 2 subroutines to separate them a little. So that's that sorted. We want to get them to move to a location, don't we? So, how do we do this? So, we are going to need a pretty hefty statement here. We're going to go if, then, else. If, then, else, that the random value in the array equals. This is going to be complicated, but it's probably going to be the best workaround we're going to find. If then equals the value in the array of the random setup at 0 equals 201, then this is going to be really long-winded. So we're going to move these down out the way because this is going to be a very long-winded algorithm here. If then else, value in array, a random setup is 201. Then we want to create a vector. What do we want that vector to be? We want it to be, this is just super complicated stuff here. We're going to actually remove our object waypoints completely and all of that. We're going to get rid of those because we don't need them. And we're going to go to our hostage locations transforms. So this hostage location is it's actually going to be the interact points that we're going to use, not the locations, because they're at the same position. Interact points hostage 1 transform, so 201. I'm going to drag that over there. We're going to double up our screen to make this easier for us. We're going to have to make a few of these factors. So we've got oh dear. If I could stream via 2 monitors, that would be handier. So, minus 62, 5, 170. Minus 62, 5, 170. We need lots of these vectors doing. Hostage 2, transform, 13, 7, 85. 13, 7, 85. (22, 1). This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work because they are currently actual. We need to reparent them very quickly and put them back afterwards. So let's do that. So 201, 69, 47 minus 201, 69 minus 47. For our first one, minus 17472, 72, 63. There's a second vector, third vector, minus 108, 65, minus 108, 65, 118. And our fourth vector, hostage 4, transform, minus 150, 65, minus 150, 65, 114. There's our 4 vectors. So we're going to go if then else equals blah blah blah. So we need to copy that into there. Put that into there for 202. And for 203 we have got this vector and if not, we can just else that for now. We can put that in afterwards. We're going to save those coordinates. We are going to redo our interact points. We're going to save the scene. We're going to export current level, and then we are going to put that in to our map and run a test. Okay, so the idea is that they're going to go to the given location depending on what the objective has been set. Fingers crossed. At the moment, we don't know just how severe the bot nerfing is that DICE have put in, but I know they're not going to nerf scripting for the bots. They can't do that because it just defeats the point of having Portal. And they've worked for so hard on making this Portal experience a thing. The amount of money they've invested and time they've invested into it, it'd be stupid for them to just throw that in the waste and not allow the scripting for the bots to work. If they move, that's fine. Then we can get them to patrol afterwards and we can spread them out a bit. But they're probably all going to move to the same position and look a bit stupid at the moment. But let's see. There's one. They're not moving. Why are you not moving? Why are you not moving? You should be moving. And they're all coming onto this team. Why? Holy crap. Why did that not work then? Why are they not moving like the hostage will? That's strange, because they would normally move no problem. We'll just quickly rename that subroutine back to what we had before. Re-edit, backfill AI. That's fine, done. Let's fix that. So when I get the the hostage to move on interact point. Then it's hostage returning. AI move to behavior, which is there. He hasn't been given any move speed. I mean, is that necessary? Yeah. Ah, that's why. We haven't put our agreement in. That's it. We'll try that now. That's why it wasn't. Nobody was moving. So they should now be moving to swarm that point. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what sort of chaos. So anybody that's just joined, this is a workaround on the nerf for DICE when it comes to bot farms. We're not making a bot farm for Spawn XP. We're actually doing a legit AI bot backfill on a server. So when you actually go to Portal Editor, in the web editor, you can choose backfill bots. Come on, please move. They're not moving still. Oh, it's going. He's going. Oh, they're going. They're going. They're moving. One by one. Yes. Where are they going? I have no idea. We'll find out. They're probably all going to group up. Unless they actually go to the hostage location. Ah. But look, our hostage is moving with them. That's not good. We don't want that hostage to move. We don't want that hostage to move. We're going to have to... Yeah, they're all swarming the laundry. So what I was saying is that if you choose backfill or static box on bots, it will... Your XP is going to be nerfed. They're going to totally do that, and you probably get a warning from them to say this and that. But we're using a workaround, which is by filling the server with bots with a script. As long as the script knows that there's not enough human players on the server, and we're going to have enemies. Oh shit. Okay. We're going to have enemies start showing up here as well now. So we've got the move to behaviour. That's working. Here they come. Here they come. There we go. They're all going to get knackered. Oh, here we go. I knew this was going to happen. Alright. We know that's working. So we're going to change that script now to a patrol behaviour instead of just actually going to the point and doing nothing. It's a bit of a freaking mess, and the hostage has still moved. So what happens if we interact at that hostage location? Will he escape and get himself back to the main? Let's go. Well, I can't actually test that. Oh, and every time they kill a enemy, a bot spawns from this team. And now there is just a huge mess. Right, we're going to change that patrol behaviour and sort of make that team play a bit more fair between the bots. So we're going to go back to our AI condition. So the hostage spawn, we're going to come back to that because we do not want that AI to spawn. And what happens if I tell the hostage to go back to the main base? Do all of the bots go with him? Don't know. I think we can put an and not in here. So we're going to put an and not. And is not equal to the event player and he is not equal to the fact that he is the value in the array of being the hostage, like so. That should keep the hostage in his place, and he shouldn't follow the other. Yeah, he shouldn't. Yeah, so that's that part done. And now we want them to not go to that place. We want them to patrol that place. So we're going to change that from AI move to behavior. AI backfill. We're going to put AI defend the position behavior instead. I'm hoping this is actually going to make them move to it. We're going to just keep that aside for the moment, just in case we do have to go back to it. And we want to give them a minimum distance of, let's say a minimum distance of 15 meters. and a maximum distance of 30 meters, so they're sort of all spread out around that location, not on the location. Let's see if that moves them there. Now, how do we get these AI bots to spawn more sort of specific? So on player join game, we've got to remove that. I'll leave that one just there. On player join, new player join team 1. I want to get rid of that backfill AI there, backfill AI there, and actually we just want to run it as a while command, I reckon. So it was spawning them. I think what we do is actually spawn 30 bots, give them names as well. So if anybody wants a name for a bot, put it in the chat. Oh, hang on, my Facebook live chat is disabled. Hang on. Yeah, okay. We're going to actually do 30 bots, or we'll just do 24 bots aside. Maybe I think we'll just do that. So. If it doesn't spawn the bots, it doesn't matter, because if the server's full with human players, it will refuse to spawn any more bots. So we're going to start making a list of bots for team 1 here, and we're going to give them names as well. So if you want a bot name, speak up in the chat and I'll put that in for you. Message. Nothing rude. Something straightforward, maybe. Literals. Give them a name for team 1. So we want to keep them a little bit like the actual real bot names that we get in BF anyway. So CPL.corporal. Jesus, I need a list of freaking names. Let's have a look. Let's ask ChatGPT. That'll just do the job a little bit better. Give me a list of 30 random names for a soldier. Sure, yeah, 30 random. Here we go. Okay, they're pretty good. They're pretty decent. Jack Mercer, random. Marcus Kane. Whatever the names have to be, they'll have to be. Dmitry Volkov. Elias Novak. These are random. Victor Stone. I do need to actually put these as and note them as bots. I'm going to put bot. I'm sure DICE will get pissed off otherwise if I don't specify. Make sure they are labelled. Bit of a mundane task to do, but this again, it's bypassing all the restrictions that DICE are going to be putting in place for this horrible nerf that they've done. It's good for most people, but still. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 side, 16 bots per side there. Tom Hanks in, why not? Okay, so we've got 16 bot names for Team 1. And we've got a bit of work to do here as well. (801), 82, 801, 801. These have got to alternate. One, two, 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 one, two. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, there's our list of bots. We are going to just duplicate that, screw that, stick them in there. A quicker way to duplicate things there. Perfect. Put them all in there and put them all in there. There's our list of bots. Done. We should have now just 16 bots, like sort of 8 per side. Hopefully we can add some more after. We just want to test that they're going to work and go to where we want them to go. So where we go to here, so on we want to do this from the start of the round as a backfill. We're going to actually give that another wait of 5 seconds. Put that subroutine in backfill the AI from the start of the round. When a player leaves the game, we're going to do a backfill AI. We could probably randomize the names a little bit better later on, but still, we'll worry about that another time. It's just to get this game mode running first. AI backfill here. We want to defend that position, but it's fine. Hostage spawn. Hopefully that's going to stay in the same place. I think we could probably test, and we are going to just do a test now. It's trying to get them to go to the right location, really, but if we can get them to just sort of spread around, I mean, even on the middle of the map, and just put the limits, the areas much wider, well, that's better. Because anybody that wants to play PvE co-op mode on this will need bots, and preferably in their own squad. So let's see what happens here. So give it a few seconds, put a weight in there. There we go, Tom Hanks came in first. Don't know why. He's going to the point. Some of the names are... Some of the names there are a little bit... yeah, it's a bit weird that. We can work out what they are at a later time. As long as they're spawn, it doesn't matter. So Tom Hanks came in first. Oh look. Yeah, look, it's... Holy crap. It's... censored some of the names, DICE. Why? DICE, please. Look at this. It's censored the names. Why? Why have they taken it that far that you've censored names? Oh man, really? Really? Why? Why have they done that? Why have they done that? We're going to now randomly spawn the bots onto a random team then. We'll work around that. We're going to randomly spawn a bot onto either team 1 or team 2. That's the best thing we can do at the moment because of this. That is so appalling that they've gone as far as censoring your own custom names for bots. That sucks. Alright, we're gonna count the players on we're just gonna count the players on the server and do that. I mean, that's the best thing we can freaking do now. On player join game, let's have a look. We can still do it from team 1 and team 2. So we want to go to the AI script again here. We're going to work around this regardless of what they say. So we're going to call this AI backfill for team 1. Set up a new subroutine for team 2. Sorry DICE, but you're not going to make it that difficult for me so far. So we're going to duplicate that and put that onto 802. Spawn it on 802. Random real for team. Oops. bots for team 2. Bots for team 1. And that's going to loop, and it's going to add as many players to that map now as what we need. So less than equal to, as long as there is less than 20, say 28 players on the server, it's going to start stacking bots up to replace the empty spaces. We're going to go value in array, we're going to give that a payload of yeah, we'll do it via the variable, get variable team player count for team 1, player count for team 2, and that should start backfilling bots until that is full. Oh, it will stop once it's in fact, we want to put a wait in there as well on each one of those, because we don't want them spamming themselves in every. So we'll just put a wait of 3 seconds in. Wait of 3 seconds before it repeats itself. Happy with that. On join player. Player leaves game. Backfill team 1, and we also want to AI backfill team 2 there, just in case it's somebody from team 2. And we want to stack them on team 2 as well there. In fact, we're going to put this in a separate 2 rules. So we want AI backfill start team 1 on game mode started. And for team 2, and we'll put those subroutines into there. To team 1. If somebody leaves the game, it's going to just run through those scripts anyway, just to fill the empty space. We don't need to do any more AI backfill there. I think we are good for a test. We'll try that now. That has really kind of pissed me off, that you can't put your own bot names without them being... I mean, it didn't censor Tom Hanks. So I think maybe if we put more random names, it would be more specific. But I think it was because I was putting quite specific names in. What I could do is generate a list of names that players would use on a game like this. So spawn in 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're spawning kind of equally here. Yep, we've got the hostage 5 and 6, 6 and 7, 8 and 9. They go into the position. The hostage icon is in the wrong location. They are moving to point. They are doing this. Let's see if they get into a fight, shall we? And just to prove my point, I will start killing some enemies, and you hopefully will see that I'm getting full XP for that kill. So... the hostage has disappeared, right? No, it's still there. So we will have to fix the hostage. Come on, are we going to get some fights? To be fair, the enemy have to travel a little bit further at this point in time because they are coming from the other side of the map. They're coming a little bit further distance, which is fine. I can always give them a forward spawn point just to give them that head start, really. I'm sure they're on the way. So yeah, they are moving and patrolling this area where the hostage should be. And the hostage is actually where? Okay, so the AI is working. If the enemies are still going to make it here. I mean, are they stuck somewhere or some shit? Let's have a look. Oh, no, they're coming. Holy shit. And they've all got snipers. Holy shit. Why have they all got snipers? Why are they not random? They should be random, surely. Let's see my team. Yeah, they're all random. We should start seeing some fights. Are they coming or what? Wait a sec. Oh, here we go. The fights are starting. Right, let's just see how they react with each other. They should just have a good scrap. Yeah, it's starting. Holy crap, this one's even using an EOD bot. Fair enough. Oh yeah. And if they die, do they respawn? Maybe not. Maybe they don't respawn. Interesting. So, where's my hostage? He's still alive. That's been updated for some reason. So there's an interact point then somewhere where... Okay, we'll go and check out some interact locations and see if we can find out where the hostage is. There's not here. Oh, by the way, there's the proof that it's working. I don't want to abuse it too much because I don't want to be in trouble. So they are not respawning. They are not respawning, so there is an interact point here. I just want to know where the hostage is. Yeah, it's here. Now, do we see the hostage start running back to the spawn? Yeah, but it's not called hostage. This is very confusing. I think the game has completely confused the codes. Yeah, that's working. But you're not my hostage, man. You're the wrong person. You're supposed to be hostage as this person here. You should teleport and bugger off to the back. Die. He's dead. Okay, that worked. So do we now get a legitimate hostage? Yeah, maybe so. Let's go and check it. Wow. Well, the location's changed again. So weird. So maybe I know what the issue is here. So maybe in the code, if we look at where we're giving the ID to the hostage, it's probably not specific enough. So AI backfill hostage spawn. Yeah, look. And compare that to the spawn for the backfill. Maybe I can change that to not the spawners of 801 and 802. We could work that out. So if we put from not get spawner, not and it's not equals to that. Or we could just say it's not. I think that might be sufficient. Just not one of the hostage spawners. And where do we do the AI backfill here? Maybe we're doing it too. Maybe we're doing it too soon because we've got a 5-second wait there. So we need to maybe give it a wait of 20 seconds to confirm that everything else is in place before the game starts. I think that's suitable. And the updated icon on enable interact point on that point is true. I think it's just confusing who is the hostage or not, because I'm enabling the icon and it's going to a random person, but if is hostage 0, so let's just absolutely make sure that AI backfill and that's not and not one of the other spawners. That might clear up a bit of the confusion in the code, because it's got to just double check where everybody is. So the AI characters will have to spawn from the value of whatever the random setter is. Delete that, copy and paste the one I've just created. So is not we need to recode that perfectly there, otherwise we're going to have a problem with that. Okay, so it's and so if they are spawning from and equals event spawner is 801 or 802. and not. That might do it, I think. We'll check. We want to speed up the spawning a little bit there as well, I think. We'll just spawn those in a little bit quicker. So just put that at 2, 2, 2. I'm going to make them move a bit quicker if possible, because they're just a little bit slow. So we want them to set move to sprint. I'll give them 3 seconds. We'll give that a save. Let's just see if that's cleaned them up a little bit. And we want to go back into our... We want to actually give them some more places to spawn realistically, because they're like... The other team's like not really kind of spread out as much as they need to be. And they've all got to come from here, which is a bit too far. So let's give them another 3 points randomised. So we'll put him one over there. Spectre 802, and then 803, 804, 805. AI spawner. Just going to keep these neat and tidy as usual. I'm just giving them an A, B, C and D for now, just so we can keep an eye on what we've got. Put one a little bit so more centered maybe. Just here. This is going to spread them out a little bit better, and they'll come from a bit more different T2D. I might give them 2 more after this actually. Just to make it a little bit more just here. It's only for AI, so it's just that challenging part. So spawn that backfill team 2E, and one more somewhere more closer to the newer 4 points, just here. be. Just one more. Somewhere a bit more. Yeah, just in here. Perfect. Backfill. Team 1. Do we need more than this? A, B, C, E, F, G, H, I, J? No, I think that'd be fine. So, 802. So, 801. 802. 803. 804. 805, 806, 807, 808. We're good with that. Save that. Export that. And in the editor, all we've got to do is go to random, get spawner, random bool, random. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. We've just buggered this up here. Hang on. Which is that one that we've got at spawn? That must be kept at 801. So this is at 802, 803, 804, 805. We've just got them one off. 806, 807, 808. So just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We'll resave that. Export. And just in the editor on Team 2, we've just got to go to random real get spawner between 802 and 808. Done. We'll save that. We'll add the map to hostage mode. Save. OK. And we'll just restart that experience real quick. And we should now have Team 2 bots spawn in random locations. They should be at the objective more quickly. And that will sort of be a bit more fulfilling for real players. So real players' experience will be that they will see actual HQs, like main bases pop up, like spawn points. And it will kind of work in line with that, where the hostage is located. A bit more, it might be a bit more brutal, but by the time that you've got the first hostage, you'll hope that the server is full of players. Once this is published and people seed it, and we've got sort of 64 players on here, I think it'll be much more beneficial. So, hostage has spawned, and here's our first set of players. The hostage icon still hasn't quite got to where it should be. They should start moving. Or not. They're not even moving now. Why? Holy shit, what's going on? I haven't even changed anything to do with the movement, so why are they not moving? What the hell? You see, the slightest little changes in the code and it starts getting really confused. Maybe it's this defend... I did... If I was correct... Yeah, I did change that, didn't I? I did... It's not detecting the hostage spawn. Okay, we've got to rework these conditions once more. So we're just actually going to try and hope for the best here. We're going to go for... we're going to do ifs and buts and things. So if equals get spawner is, we only want to do that actually with the hostage. Maybe we don't. Maybe we can put it all into one. Should we try that? Because the hostage spawner is only going to be it's only going to be at one of them. So event spawner is the equivalent of the value in the array we'll put an else and see if this works. Value in the array equals the... it's a little bit confusing, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Random setup, always at variable 0, of course, and that is going to know the spawner that the hostage has spawned from. We're going to just change this now to AI spawn for the test of this. Everything else of that now needs to go into here, like that. So we've got 5-10 seconds wait there. We're going to give that 10 seconds. We're going to give that 3 and 3. And we're going to get rid of that there. Save and test. It's going to be unfortunate if we got to work around in loops to make sure that you see the checks that they're going to have now in Portal to prevent bot farms is going to be ridiculous. So the workarounds are going to have to be so well scripted, and I think DICE will be like, oh well, they've found a way around that. They've found something complicated and worked out how to do that. So let's just hope that the experience is going to be just as complicated, and I don't know, it might. I don't know how they see it really. If the AI can be as good as a real player, then there shouldn't be any real need to tame the AI. Or what they should do is just actually keep it the same and then just prevent players from joining real human servers with... Okay. Right, we've got the hostage icon back, that's fixed. Where's our players? Yes! They're coming in. They're loaded. Are you going to start moving? Why is the icon moving? They're not moving. Why? There's nothing wrong with this before, so I don't know. Are they actually going to make me do this? Please, DICE. They're going to make me do this, I'm sure. They can't really make me do that, surely. please don't make me do this, dice. I'm having to re-loop the whole of that session now. Right, hostage has spawned. Give us the icon. In time. Icon's there. Start spawning. The icon's freaking moving again. Why? Why is the freaking icon moving? It's not... Oh, we've got movement. We've got movement. There's a little bit of delay on the movement though. Well, I did make a delay. It was a 10-second delay. I'll give that to 5 now because it's a little bit too long. We also don't see the outline here for the HQs. The hostage just died. But at least okay, so we've got some AI movement going on here, so that's good. What the hell? So we need to get the bots to respawn. Let's go and have a look at that hostage location. Let's sort of see what that is, because I can't work out why this is bugging out like it is. Is it actually a hostage? Because I don't see it on the map. That was a spawn point that I've just added. Now it's moved. Why is it moving? Maybe I don't do this with conditions and it has to be if-thens. Okay, we can work on that. So actually, it's nothing to do with the AI itself. It's to do with the array not actually recording the vector and the actual person who is the. What if I gave the other lot an index of 1? Just to move them out of the way of the array. Nothing wrong with the hostage. What if it's actually on player spawned and rather than on spawner spawned? Let's just test that theory, because if I put on player deployed and they have spawned from, for example, spawner, get spawn point now. It's a spawner. Or is it? That's a good point. Get spawner. Get spawner, yeah. Event spawner. Event spawn point. Holy shit. Okay, maybe we're not... Okay, this is weird. No, it's not spawn point, because we're not making them spawn from a spawn point. It is a spawner. There's a difference, because the spawner is the AI spawner, the spawn point is for humans. Even though AI can spawn from those spawn points too, it's not what we're doing. We're forcing them through an actual spawner. On player deploy, so let's see if we can do it this way. Equals spawner, event spawner. No. Well, let's test it. Spawn point. It's not going to be a spawn point. It's not possible. Unless DICE have really messed things up and confused the two. Let's just separate them into two events. We'll separate them into 2 events here and just see if that actually just allows us to so if they just curious. Hostage spawner is correct. 201, 202, 203, 204. They're fine. We're not going to interrupt with those. I've actually separated the IDs until as well, so it actually doesn't depend on the ball that I've set for the game mode. It might be more specific for the code to not get confused. We'll see how that works. This will be the last test for the night, and we'll come back to sort of debugging more things tomorrow. But what we will start working on tomorrow is like UI, like user interface stuff, like information to players, and also sound effects. So sort of the vanity kind of things that need to go with the game. Okay, so we've got the AI spawns. Have we got the icon? We've got the icon. He's moving. Why is the AI moving? Why is the hostage moving? Wait. Why is the hostage moving? It's not detecting the spawners. It is not detecting the spawners. Nevertheless, we do have today overcome the nerf of bot lobbies by DICE. Here's my XP just to show that it's still valid. The reason why the scores don't show up is because I haven't actually implemented the update scoreboard function. It is counting, but hidden in the background, you can't see it. Yeah, the icon's still not valid for some reason. Still not valid. just curious about something here. Let's get rid of that second. And let's get rid of that for a second. Let's put a condition in here. If or is. Or exact. Or value. Maybe that is it. Maybe we need an absolute value. Let's try that. Get spawner. Is absolute value. Get spawner. No. Is. Event spawner equals that can't be surely. Holy crap, have I just made a massive error here. I think I know what the issue is here with it identifying. So on the spawner spawned, there is a player that's going to spawn from that player. So the event player has spawned from Jesus wept. They've made this too complicated now. Maybe it is event player from get spawner. Get spawner. Yeah, it's not going to do that either. So if the get spawner equals the absolute value of what that is in the array, and it equals event player, I mean, surely is that not ridiculous? I mean, is that not just outrageous, realistically? This can't be right, surely, if they've done this 802. Why should I have to determine anything about who is spawning to that? The only one that I'm concerned of is staying still is the hostage. Doesn't even let me say no to that. That will stop him from walking. But he won't walk after I interact with him, I don't think. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs with this portal, so we'll just rerun this test and then we'll call it quits for the evening. We've managed to work around the bot XP at least and got bots to spawn and move to where we want them to go. But actually getting them to stay where you want them to stay and things like that, I don't know. Maybe it's a case of spawning the bots in first, getting them to move, and then getting the hostage to spawn in thereafter, after they've all been spawned in. That's possibly going to be the answer to this. We're doing it back to front, and we need to reverse the situation. Instead of there being a hostage straight from the start, we need to allow the server to populate and fill up. And we can put it as a message saying locating hostage or something like that, whilst all the bots have spawned in up to the numbers. And I think that's probably what we need to do. So yeah, we'll check on that after at another time. So the hostage has spawned. We should get the icon. He spawned at the random location, so he's definitely the ball. He's moving, he's moving. So he's still moving. So the IDs are just wrong. It applies to all AI then. Let's see what happens when I go and interact with his point. Does he then move back to main? Does all the other bots go back to main? So, let's see. Shit, where does he spawn? Where was his interact point? I can't remember where his interact point was. It was there. And even the interact point's not working. So there's something really messed up with Portal, not being able to determine who is who when it comes to AI. You can do it perfectly fine with one bot, no problem at all. But as soon as you start setting AI tasks like AI move to this AI, that applies to all of them. And it will not specifically... I mean, it works as an... That's a point. 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 Look at this. AI spawn is any event. Remove equipment, and then it is AI set move speed, AI defend position, event player. So we've got to make sure that it is not the AI. So that is a player. That is an event for all AI players. That's where this is going wrong. So what we need to do is change that event player to the event of the value of the player in the array of the hostage. Which is a piss take really, because that means we've got to just fill up lots of boxes for no reason. So this is all good, blah blah blah, but all of these event players here have got to be value in the array. So and where we do this, where we say AI defend position, that applies to all players. So that needs to be basically everything else. So we need to have all of the AI spawn in first and fulfill the server, and then have the hostage spawn into his correct position, give him the identity of being the hostage. Hey, what's this then? Get rid of that. This AI applies to all AI. So we need to make sure that it is definitely separated. Okay, anyway, that's enough for today, guys. We'll call it quits, and we'll fix that tomorrow on another stream and get that up and running and working. So anyway, thanks for watching.